Good. May I start? All right. Greetings. Another beautiful day with these lovely individuals in which to hear us today present our work on how incentives reward can affect students' academic performance. So let me give you guys a brief introduction about my group. So we're going to provide you guys with three main points. Firstly is inequity in education. Secondly is short-term focus, and the third one would be cheating. Okay, so me and Hian are going to handle the first viewpoint in which the matters affect the students. So I would like to start with the concept of educational inequity, which is referred as the mistreatment and the gap between specific groups of students, the privileged one and unprivileged one, such as the colored student and white boys. Yes, indeed. And don't get me wrong, I'm just trying to indicate these two groups. And for an example, so a recent analysis from a few schools of some specific states of America, like Alabama, Louisiana, New York, or Texas, has shown to be quite clear that the white pupils are in more favor of these kinds of incentive rewards than the colored one. So in order to provide you guys with the consequence in which this system can affect the pupils, we will move on to the next presenter, Win Hian.
Okay, so I want to ask you a question. Have any of you ever thought about the the consequences of that unfairness in their high school? Can you raise your hand? I guess that maybe some of you have tried to find the information about it before, and so today we will find out. The first is to cause this discrimination. What more specifically, rewarding only some students can create a distinction between successful and unsuccessful students. Well, this not only affect their friendships, but also weakens their spirit of solidarity in the class. Yeah, the next one is negative impact on psychology. Well, students who are not rewarded may feel that they have failed, and which in turn leads to the feelings of low self-esteem, sadness, or even depression. Yeah, and additionally, feelings of being discriminated against can cause some students to react by exhibiting defiant behaviors, such as not caring about learning, disrupting class, or even dropping out of school. And the last one is a loss of trust. The student feel a loss of trust in the education system. Yeah. When students notice that some of them receive reward, but others do not, they may feel that, wow, the system is unfair, right? This can lead them to doubt their teachers' evaluation and also recognition. Well, in addition, if students feel that their merit-based rewards do not properly reflect their ability, they may begin to be skeptical to their quality of teaching and also their school's educational goals. And those are my three points about. Okay, so we'll move to the next speaker, Hà Trang and Mỹ Duyên.
Okay, so we come to the second point. And before we start, I want to introduce you to a quote. it is money comes and goes. What does it mean, you say? Well, it is used to express the very fleeting and temporary nature of such things as cash. So why do we have to use it as the goal to such a long-term thing like education? So this brings us to our very disapproval of using cash incentives, because it shouldn't be used as the goal to such a long-term process like, well, deepening your knowledge. I'd say that some students know that bonuses are merely bonuses when they receive it, and well, would just move on and deepen their knowledge. But some would just shift their focus to earning this money instead of, well, really deepening their knowledge. And well, what are the negative effects of this tendency? My friend Mi Duyên will, well, explain it to you.
Hello. And I will continue this point. Some students often focus solely on financial reward like scholarships or high-paying jobs instead of understand deeper inner knowledge. This single-minded pursuit could lead to a shallow grasp of knowledge because they are more concerned with the award than the exact learning process. For example, consider a student who wants to pass a major exam to secure scholarships. They might spend hours memorizing facts and formulas just to get a good grade. And however, once the exam's over, they might forget most of what they study because the motivation is just to achieve short-term award, not truly understand the material. And for example, like me, as a high school student before, I spent 3 years on high school just to study math, biology, physics, instead of some social subject like history. When I have a history exam, I often search on the internet to find some multiple choice question to remember in my short-term memory. And then I got a 9 on the final history exam, but now I forgot all of it. I cannot remember anything about it. And this focus on...
Okay, moving on, we have... Okay, so moving on, we have researched into this problem and found out that cash incentives can maybe dampen students' learning spirits. Well, I've read an article on gradeschools.org, and it is titled "Cash for Good Grades, Some School Gave It a Try," and it was published on August 23rd, 2023. And here, psychologists Bob Brooks and Sam Goldstein mention researches by other researchers, and they have found out that such an extrinsic motivation can overshadow students' intrinsic motivation to learn. And what does it mean? Well, it means that cash is a very, very short-term goal, and it just overshadows the learning just for the sheer pleasure of learning spirits in students. And I'll admit, most of the time, student doesn't really do that. Like, when you get a reward, you don't think of it that much. But well, it is easy for some to just stray from their educational path into getting money, and that's the end of my point. So we are moving on to the next presenter.
Okay. Our next argument is high schools offering cash incentives can trigger cheating among students. So first, let me make clear what is cheating. So cheating is the act of using dishonest or deceptive methods to gain an unfair advantage, particularly in academic or competitive context. So why high schools providing students cash incentives can trigger this? The first, it is because that cash incentives often leads students to focusing on the results, which are the scores, the overall scores, not on the process of learning or what they can learn through the lessons. So that's why students can't feel the pressure of having to perform well in order to get the monetary rewards. They just put their mind so much on the results of the test, so much that they forget about the core value, the true meaning of learning, which is acquiring new knowledge and developing a genuine love for it. So that's when they skip the steps of truly learning. They find way to cut corners, and they lead to using cheat sheets or copying others' answers for the score. So, of course, I admit that there's also many students who truly study for the exam, but you cannot ace the test all the time. Maybe there are some subjects that you are not adept in and you feel insecure about it. So that's also a case when they're trying to find ways to cheat so they can secure the rewards. About the negative consequences of these, Winto will present it to you right now.
First, let's talk about the difficulties in monitoring. In today's high-pressure academic environment, teachers and administrators face immense challenges in detecting dishonest behavior. With the weight of expectation, children may feel pushed to resort to cheating. The pressure can lead to a cycle where cheating seems to be the only way to keep up, undermining the very purpose of education. Next, consider the long-term consequences. When students cheat to achieve good grades, they may find themselves trapped in a pattern of dishonesty. They begin to rely on shortcuts rather than developing the skills, the knowledge that they need for their future career. And as they carry these habits into workplace, will potentially result in unethical behavior in the workforce. Moreover, widespread cheating fosters a culture of distrust. This can extend to teachers and administrators, leading to a breakdown in the relationships that are essential for a thriving educational community. If students believe that their peers are dishonest, they may question their own accomplishment, which can dampen the motivation and engagement. A lack of trust harms the collaboration, innovation, and the overall learning environment. To sum up, next slide, please. To sum up, equity in education is crucial for all students. We must focus on creating a learning environment that fosters intrinsic motivation and value genuine understanding. True achievement is rooted in mastery and growth, not in cash rewards. That is the end of our group presentation. Thank you.